Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's Jmann. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann. And today I am here to talk to you about Dixon Dallas. And if you have no idea who that is, fucking Google it. Dixondallas.
How you fellas doing?
Dixon Dallas is the alter ego of singer Jake Hill, who also raps under the name You're Pretty, spelled U-R and then pretty.
You bitch!
Dixon Dallas is a problem for me. Not because his songs are possibly seen as being gay country or latently homoerotic. I have no problem with any country songs about any sexuality, honestly, because I support the LGBTQs, or alphabet people, if you will.
Jesus Christ.
The thing here is that Dixon Dallas seems to be an alter ego created not for artistic or personal expression, but for purely financial gain. Because there's, as far as I know, like no segment of country music that's just like gay country singers. And it's an unexplored segment of the musical audience that clearly this gentleman is trying to exploit. So he's probably like, oh, hey, no one else is doing this. I will. Then I'll corner the market and get the monies. Which under any other circumstance, if you're filling a need in a market where there's demand and no supply, is good business sense. And then other times you'll have artists who are trying to speak with their voice in the mind of others to express some sort of thought process or lifestyle that is underrepresented so they can be a champion for that cause. After reviewing the stories about him and listening to his music, which was not fun, I don't think that was necessarily what his mindset was. And that is problematic. However, before I get to that, let's talk about his most famous song, Good Lookin'. Here's an excerpt of the lyrics. He's bouncing off my booty cheeks. I like the way he rides. I can hardly breathe when he's pumping deep inside. What a wordsmith. He's definitely creating some vivid imagery for the listener. And then it's like the chorus of a song with all these romantic lyrics about falling in love. So it's a really weird fucking ride, no pun intended, going from start to finish on this track. The issue here is that Jake Hill has never come out, or Dixon Dallas has never come out and addressed his sexuality. He's left it very ambiguous. He's like, I could be straight, I could be gay, I could be bi. What does it matter? I'm just trying to make music. No, you're just trying to fucking make money, dildo. Taking an unexplored avenue in a genre of music that doesn't normally appeal to gays, and here you are, right in the forefront, and what you're doing is queerbaiting. Okay? I mean, here's the definition of queerbaiting. The incorporation of apparently gay characters or same-sex relationships into film, television shows, or music as a means of appealing to gay and bisexual audiences while maintaining ambiguity about the character's sexuality. That's expressly what he's doing. I don't necessarily buy that this Stetson-sporting, vote-for-Pedro-looking motherfucker loves the cock. And I don't see anything out there that would give evidence to the theory that he enjoys having somebody bounce off his booty cheeks or getting anally fucked in general. And then when people started accusing him of being fake gay for money, he immediately was like, well, I never said what I was, and why do you have to think of it that way? These songs could be from the perspective of a woman, and I'm just trying to represent that audience. And it's just like, dude. Oh. We are living in the times of being an ally to support the alphabet people so that they feel welcome and included. And, more importantly, on individuals being open and accepting of themselves and then projecting an image that they are being, quote, their authentic self. You're not being your authentic self. You're a fucking vulture, dude. You're just in it for the money and the popularity, which is the point of being famous, true. But it's a whole nother ballgame when you represent yourself as something that you're not, merely for the financial gain. I don't see him championing any causes or saying, I want to be a voice for the gays. You're just singing about ambiguous romantic themes and getting your shit pushed in. And if I can throw a little shade while I'm at it, I am like 75% sure that this little dildo uses Chat GPT or some other AI software to help him craft song lyrics, because some of those stanzas, they just sound discordant to me. I wouldn't have chosen those lyrics specifically in that pattern, or I would have tried to use better English, like a human brain would think up to do so. And having songwriters make songs for you and write lyrics for you is not unheard of in country music. In fact, it's more common than it is uncommon for the biggest acts to have, quote, hit makers or songwriting teams that help them. But personally, as somebody that makes music, I would never want anybody to write my fucking lyrics for me, because you're not speaking for me. You're not being authentic. Next point I'd like to drive home. Do you remember when there was all that hullabaloo over Hank Azaria voicing Apu, and Hank Azaria is white and Apu is Indian American on The Simpsons? Or Mike Henry, who was voicing Black Cleveland Brown on Family Guy, and Mike Henry is white. And then there was all that bullshit about Jenny Slate voicing a black character on Big Mouth, and people were like, you're taking jobs away from people of color. Okay, well, isn't this guy taking an opportunity to be the first away from a genuinely gay individual to be that breakthrough artist who is a segment of the LGBTQ community population, to get the fame and adulation that they deserve for taking that first step? It's just another part of this whole smoke and mirrors about, is he or isn't he gay? Like, fuck your mystery. I don't buy that you're gay. If you are gay, fucking prove it. Be gay. Be openly gay. Otherwise, in my mind, it feels like you're taking away an opportunity from an actually gay artist who could have that chance. Kind of like what Lil Nas X is doing in American music for black gay males and hip-hop and rap and pop. Last but not least point here, I have to think that some of the people that get pissed off of you aren't just Bible-thumping right-wingers that are like, you're ruining country music, it's not about being gay. Which to that I'll say, let's play devil's advocate here and just assume that Thunder Rolls is about a song where a guy is out cheating on his wife, but he's not doing it with a lady. He's secretly trying to satisfy this hidden down-low need for dicks with another dude. That's right, he's cheating on his wife with a guy, and they are 69ing and play wrestling.
Ah, gay!
So now we've just got this skinny twink that apparently watched Brokeback Mountain and decided he wants to make Danielle Steele novels out of country music songs. I think a lot of older gays that had to struggle to find the right words, the right time, and the courage to come out are going to look at this and be like, you fucking asshole. This is all performative, and it's not even activism. You're just talking about romance and fucking, which obviously are two themes that are very popular in music, but you're doing it to appeal to a certain class of people, a certain segment of the audience specifically that's underrepresented. So you're trying to capitalize on it. It's very opportunistic. And I guess if I were to put myself in the shoes of older gays, like Gen X gays, they've been through a lot because they were at the forefront of the AIDS epidemic when it hit. And I get that this is all for entertainment, but at the same time, it feels like you're mocking part of their struggle. I mean, you're not openly writing these emotional songs about what it was like to realize that you're gay or come out of the closet to your friends and family and be shunned. You're just focusing on the tawdry nature of what happens between two consenting men in a bedroom, or bathroom stall of a nightclub, or on a bench at night in Loring Park in Minneapolis, or in a car, or in the locker rooms of a YMCA, or behind a dumpster in an alley, or on a set of an adult film in a warehouse somewhere in L.A., or in a tent during a fishing trip, or in a room in the basement of the Church of Scientology, or in a hotel, and then turning it into fucking songs that you go to bars, and I've seen videos of him performing. It's mostly chicks, like fucking Gen Z idiots that think that they like country now. And then, to take it a step further, some other dude sees this, and he decides to call Dixon Dallas out, and he's got a gay country persona of his own called Willie Strocum. And that would be Alex Anderson, vocalist of Midwestern pop-punk band Brooklane. I've never listened to them, and I don't want to because they just contain the words pop-punk band in their fucking description of them. But he's another dude. He's got this song called My Hole. And, oh my God, it's even more explicitly gay. And part of me wants to be like, no, I like country. Leave my country alone, fuckers. Go do this in another genre. Make pop-influenced R&B music about stemming the rose. But then, the fucking freedom fighter in me is like, dude, come on. How many guys out there hear this shit and go, you're making a fucking mockery of our lifestyle, basically. I'm sure there's tons of gays that are like, yay, gay country music. Yay, they're representing us. So then if you aren't genuinely gay, it kind of comes across like you're making a mockery of it for your own financial gain, almost like it's for sport. And it harkens back, in my mind at least, to Rachel Dolezal. If you don't remember her, there was a big outrage about finding out that this woman, who was the head of the NAACP Spokane, Washington chapter, finding out that she was actually born white and that she tans and dyes her hair and portrays herself as a black woman. So she was trying to pretend she's something that she's not to get a position of power or money because it was a job. And people hit the fucking ceiling when they found that shit out, that she was not really black, and they accused her of being a culture vulture and wrongfully exploiting their own suffering as a people's for her own gain. And her life was fucking destroyed because she had to basically alter her entire identity again just so that she could leave behind all of the fallout from being caught essentially doing black person cosplay. I could even take it a step further in people that are pretending to be something they're not in terms of trying to get something, and that would be the stolen valor mindset. People that put on military fatigues or uniforms and then go parading around on Veterans Day trying to score free meals and other discounted goods, and then they get busted doing that shit. And we were so upset that they were doing that as a culture that the government made it a fucking crime and then made the Stolen Valor Act. And when that was signed into law by Obama in 2013, he was not fucking around. They made that a federal crime. So to circle back to the point here now, you've got Jake Hill, a.k.a. Dixon Dallas, and that other guy, Willie Strocum, that are trying to capitalize on this new wave of country, and they're going to make these gay country bop songs, as I keep reading them called. If I was a fledgling country artist, and I was actually portraying my own struggles in my music, and then I saw this shit, I would be fucking livid. Be like, you know what? I doubt any of this is your actual life, and if it is, fucking come out and say it. Put your money where your mouth is, and then put that mouth on dicks for a live audience. And then don't just bob up and down until it's over or your jaw gets too tired to continue. I mean, fucking get in there and moan with glee while you've got your mouth full and fucking cradle the balls and spit in your hand and work the shaft and really fucking gay it up, dude. Show us what you got.
Gross.
And you will get detractors that would be like, you don't have to make him talk about his sexuality. You kind of do, because he's making money off of this. He's celebrating gay culture, which is fine, yes, but at the same time, it's merely for financial gain. I just get the impression that he's romanticizing hardcore gay sex so that people that are into that are like, oh yeah, he's representing us. Here's my money. I'll go to your shows. I'll buy your merch. Fuck that. You are feeding off of these people like a parasite just for social media likes and to boost your artistic profile, but most importantly, to line your pockets. Because let's say I became a hardcore gay rapper. Like I came up with a secondary persona that is strictly from the point of view of a gay man who raps about hardcore gay sex. And then my stage name would be Finesse. And I guess lyrics would go something like, should I let you give me head off the end of the bed, or should I just flip you around and pump your ass instead? It's really not difficult for me, of all people, to write lyrics that are sexually explicit. It's kind of my forte. And I write a lot from different perspectives and in different voices, and I do all kinds of characters from different walks of life, but they're characters. I'm not representing them as myself. For instance, I have a gay voice, I do, and the character's name is Simon. And then I take that persona, and I make fake voicemails, and I would use that character for prank calls. It's funny as hell. But I'm not trying to become that character. I'm just doing it for cheap laughs for people to keep them entertained. So I'm not doing the same thing. I'm not putting it out there like, yeah, Simon Welch is here to make you laugh. and he's going to talk about all the things that he imagined his dentist would do to him. That's a legit one. I'll play it right now. Here's a sample of the Simon Welch character in a fake voicemail skit I made a year and a half ago.
Hi, this is Simon, the blonde muscle cake from the other day. I was just calling to tell you that I had a really nice time with you, and I wanted to see how you were doing, so I'm calling to check. I'll get right down to it. Ever since I left your place Monday afternoon, I can't stop thinking about you and how it felt to have you in my mouth. I've been with lots of guys before, but none of them treated me the way you did, you big considerate man, you. Normally with somebody so handsome, I'd be more nervous, but I wasn't, and I think that's just your natural charm, you know? I guess what I'm trying to say is, it was just nice to be with someone who's so attentive and gentle. I can't wait to see you again, so I'm going to set up an appointment to get that cavity taken care of. Can't wait to be in the chair with you again, Doc. Bye!
Now, unlike Dixon Dallas or Willie Strokum's music that is so in-your-face about overt gayness, mine was made to sound like a guy that's talking about gay sex, but he's actually calling his dentist to get a cavity filled. And I don't charge money to listen to my shit, and I don't monetize any of my platforms. You see how that's different? So maybe I'm just being a crotchety old man at this point, but I thought to myself, there was a guy in high school that was openly gay, but he caught hell for it. And his family moved, and he would say, I cannot wait to get out of this fucking town. There's so much more open mind on the West Coast. At least then I can probably sneak into a gay bar and meet somebody. It's like, he had to struggle just to feel comfortable in his surroundings. And now you're making amusement out of it, Jake Hill. So I'm not going to be like, shame on you. But it's like, dude, put up or shut up. What's your orientation? Time to come clean. So that people like that or people like me don't have to sit here and grit our teeth and be like, this motherfucker right here is nothing more than a fucking fraud talking about dudes in your mouth and in your butt just to make some quick cash. And for all the gay men out there that really had to fight hard to get to a point in their life where they could be comfortable with who they were and had dads that didn't fucking approve of that shit. Like especially the song Small Town Boy by Bronski Beat. Go fucking look up that video. Because I can think of no better musical representation of what it was like to be a gay man who wasn't out yet in the 80s. And then having one parent be like, it's okay. But then your dad be like, fuck you, get out of my house. Because that's the story arc. Is that it comes out that this dude is gay. And then he comes out to his parents because he figures they're going to find out anyway. And then his dad pretty much is like, get the fuck out of my house. And then he leaves home to go to the big city where he'll find more gays. And acceptance. I'm dead serious. Go look up Bronski Beats Small Town Boy. It's a fucking great song. And just to say it one last time, Jake Hill, a.k.a. Dixon Dallas, go eat a dick. Either metaphorically for being fake, or actually just go eat a real dick and then tell the world about it. Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call It? That is at What Do We Call It? You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/What Do We Call It podcast show. For the What Do We Call It podcast, I'm Jmann. And that's the end.